Welcome back to Pathologic 3 once again. So, last time round I got quite exhausted and repeatedly fucked up, so let's see if we'll maybe do a bit better today. I don't really fancy my chances, but I'm sure you guys have faith in me. Inevitably we are gonna have to come back to these days, but for now... On to day 7. Now, who are you? Once more we arrive back in the inspector's office. You look like an inquisitor. Iraida. It's all very monotonous, isn't it? Boring. You move on to a new day, and the inspector dumps more accusations on you. Tick, tock. It's always talk after tick, no variation. Like a hand on a clock, the length of each step known in advance. Who... Where's the inspector? Now, who are you? So, you chose not to recognize me. Sensible citizens often do that, though I really had thought that you had a different temperament. My temperament has nothing to do with it. I have a prosopagnosia. I'm bad at remembering faces. Your inspector has this dreadful mess in his papers, doesn't he? Constantly forgetting what had happened on which day, accusing you of things that never happened in the first place. It's painful to watch. Are you watching from outside the window or through a crack in the door? He'll come back from his smoke break soon enough and start questioning you about the Inquisition, and the mess will get bigger. How? On the 7th day, an Inquisitor arrived in town. Someone meant to cut through the tangled knot of intrigues and mistakes. That much is true. My point is, your prosecutor's work lacks finesse. He's burying you under false leads so you drown in them and agree to any old nonsense. By correcting him, you are only sinking deeper. Just try nodding along whenever he says something stupid. He'll talk himself into a dead end, and that will be that. Wait a minute. The inspector doesn't really know what events unfolded on the 7th day concerning the Inquisitor, and it seems like you don't want me to tell him the truth. I'm just offering you some advice. Or do you plan to spend the rest of your life cooped up in here, walking in circles? I hope that's not a potential ending to this game. No. Considering the first Inquisitor's first order concerning me, the whole situation smells a bit fishy. You don't want that to come to light, do you? Do you know how your personal files says you have paranoia? Not paranoid episodes or ideation, just paranoia. In other words, I'm right. You're scheming against the Inspector. If you're going to talk about the Inquisitor, focus on the grand scene of the town's elite trials, or the well-deserved executions on the gallows, on the intellectual debates, and in short, on the decisions, without any extraneous details. Are you an Inquisitor? No. No Inquisitor would stoop so low as to take off their iron heart for no reason, and I'm sorry to say that you currently fall into the no reason category. For some reason, I believe you. You must be some kind of assistant. She is dressed like an Inquisitor would be. But I suppose we'll see. Well, there's nothing here, so I guess we just continue. Day 7, in which the Bachelor will remember his close ones.
Кто смотрит на меня из-за стекла?
A sensible series of effects that we should have upon our person. But it's not a huge number. It's perhaps going to be a problem. We have decrees that we can take in order to get past day 7. The town will die at the end of the day. I'm going to just remove all of these decrees for now, because they're just silly ones. We need to deal with the contagion today. But anything we do is probably not going to be enough. Disinfection. I do like disinfection as an option, but it's not enough. We're way too... You can see that the infection rate has gone quite high there. There must be a way to counteract this, and I'm assuming it'll be the vaccines that we make today. I'm hoping that we make vaccines today. Let's find out, shall we? No one else around in here today. Oh. The bull is here. If you remember, we
Слишком у вас нервы натянуты.
And we gave the bull the dose of the illness
Слишком у вас нервы натянуты.
Let's just play some discordant tunes. Get our mania up a little bit. Right now we're balanced, but let's just play with it just a touch. Eva's going to give us some more amalgam, perhaps.
Мы встретимся вчера.
Count your buttons. What? Your buttons. There might be some missing from your coat. Children came by early this morning asking for something of yours. They had a preference for buttons. What for? They're making dolls. You, Burdak, and Clara. The children already stole something from Burdak, and Clara gave them a couple of fishing hooks she wears, and now they come for your buttons, to make eyes for your doll. Why the 3 of us? Have they run out of townsfolk, so now they're making dolls of new arrivals? Are you surprised? Come on. We've 3 of everything here, remember? 3 ruling families, 3 parts of town. And 3 answers to the main question. Even the children know that. What is the question? If I say, what's the meaning of life, you'll just roll your eyes, so I'll put it differently. The main question is, what comes next? Will there even be a next? Nihilism? Existentialism? Why are the 3 of us answering it? Because you were asked. By the children in their game. At the very least. Well, we're not enemies. If one of them somehow defeats the plague, I will still only applaud. You ready to accept someone else's answer? You don't strike me as the type. While one little envoy begged me for your buttons, the other children were arguing about how to play properly. They decided that the dolls should help each other at first, and then argue at the end. Well, a good game's boring if there's a right and a wrong way to play it, surely. No. I just wanted to tell you. I thought it would be funny. I didn't give them the buttons, but they already have some anyway, from the very first day, when they ransacked your luggage. Soon enough, they'll figure it out and take the doll's eyes from there. I blame all my mistakes on being controlled by children through a doll. It's a perfect cover. I wonder what that could possibly be in reference to, mainly being the doll ending of Pathologic 1. But then again, the doll ending is also fake as well, isn't it? This is still a game. I'm playing the game right now, me, the player. They should play as someone more interesting than me. Burdak and Clara, Simon, for instance, or you. It's flattering. I used to play at being heroes from my books when I was a child. Well, fully restored amalgam. What's she got? Icosapine, bromide, reagent. I do need reagent. let's see. Reagent would be a good idea. But I don't have much in the way of reagent right now. Yeah, tell me how to make reagent. I don't have anything to trade with you for it yet, so we'll come back later for it, because I want to keep everything there. Blood sample for the infected bull. Taken the day after infection. We must understand whether the infection survived. Yes, this bull is truly infected, so I can't say it doesn't get sick at all. Observations will continue. Very well. Ah, excellent. Well, that's enough to be trading with. Strychnine crystals, morphine, reagent. I should probably get some more morphine as well, honestly. 28 might be a bit of a steep price, though. 5, 4, 5, 6, 7. 5, 10, 14, 16. How much do they cost? Very well. 5. That's a good trade. Reagent. Belladonna and Belladonna and Novocaine. Oh, I can get those in plenty. But there's some spare there. And we can always get some more Belladonna and Novocaine here. My Plague Finder has got, or my prototype even has got 20 charges right now, so I don't think we need much more of that right this second.
Шум надоел.
So,
Каждый скрип, как выстрел.
oh, hello. Wait, citizen, we're looking for Daniil Dankovsky. We were told he was staying in the Stillwater. I'm right here, you don't have to scream. The Inquisitor has arrived in town. You must be taken to him. As personal orders. I have no time for this. There's plenty of work to be done at the hospital. Tell the esteemed Inquisitor I'll pay a visit to him as soon as I have a minute. The order's clear enough. In case of disobedience, we're authorized to use force. We'll twist your arms and take you there, so stop being difficult. We're asking nicely. Oh. Smelled the power, have you? Want to twist somebody's arms already? You've strangled kittens when you were little, haven't you? Cut off chicken feet? Get a load of the audacity of this guy. Get him, Mark. He doesn't want to play nice. Hands off! I said hands off me! Who do you think you are? I have patients to treat. I have things to do. Don't you know there's a plague here? These are local men. His pocket are bulging. Band to separate him from the crowd. His pocket's bulging. What's he got? A gun? A wound? Some sort of contraption? You know it's not Dankovsky. He equipped his people with guns. They're escorting me like a prisoner. What does the Inquisitor want with me? Punished for not containing the plague? Emissary of the powers that be? He wants Thanatica? Perhaps looking for Simon? Well, we know who this Inquisitor is. It's a Galea, but... Emissary of the powers that be. He wants Thanatica. They've stopped. Is something not right here? Have they lost their way? There's something not right here. Are they planning to do something with me? Run. They want to... Shit. Bachelor Dankovsky has been shot by an unknown hand early in the morning in an empty street. Wait. Hold on. It seems you've gotten a bit carried away, esteemed bachelor. So you've been shot. But here you are, sitting right before me. Beware the men in leather coats come to lead you away. The NKVD is everywhere.
Сидит дома, ждет, считает минуты.
Wait, hold on. It seems you've got a bit carried away, esteemed bachelor. According to your account, you were executed at dawn of the 7th day. Am I speaking to a stand-in, then? Ah, you're the one telling them all these tall tales. Are you the only one allowed to have fun here? So did the Inquisitor's men put you up against the wall or not? This bit is crucial. Looked at how you perked up when the Inquisitor was mentioned. You're afraid of them. I wouldn't be so flippant, dear bachelor. If the Inquisition is involved in this case, it may be your chance to prove you were merely a pawn in someone else's far more experienced hands. It's in your own best interest to lay out this part in as much detail as possible. I'm not a pawn. If an Inquisitor was working with you, you have no way of knowing whether you were a pawn or not. Only the competent bodies can determine that. All that's required of you is to state the facts. And... do I take it that by competent bodies you mean yourself? That's ridiculous. Are you hoping to cover your tracks by running in circles like a hare? We're locked in this room. You can't just hop away from here. I'll repeat. Laying out this part is in your own best interest. Fine. The Inquisitor's agents did come to me. They did threaten me, but by fate's will, I met another Inquisitor in the capital half a year ago. Who? Ironically, we met at a chess tournament. Fotografia, elektrotheater. Oh. I was looking out the window. Oh well, Seraphima, my assistant. She came to Thanatica on her own when we weren't yet published. She was also the first person to forbid me from submitting an article, ordering me to revise it. Seraphima believes in Thanatica, not only in the person of Bachelor Dankovsky. That's why, sorry, Seraphima believes in Thanatica, not in the person of Bachelor Dankovsky, and that is why she's so dear to me. There's a lot of people that read Dankovsky as a self-entitled little prick, and certainly he does have flashes of being a little prick. However, I would still argue that a lot of what he's doing at heart is still relatively selfless.
Они пойдут на все, шеф. В таком случае мы пойдем на все остальное.
I still think this is outrageous. What is? Letting Inquisitors behind the pulpit, using the Institute for propaganda instead of science. How could you let this happen? Do you really think I have the power to refuse the Inquisition's demands? To prevent Lilith from making a lecture? I'd say death is easier to defeat than the Inquisition. I've heard the lecture this Lilith gave 5 minutes in, and I knew all about her already. She hasn't come here to teach, she's come here to recruit. Recruit future medics to be Inquisitors. That's a curious practice. Have they run out of people on their own? She's not looking for employees, she needs informers. People are consumables for the Inquisition. They call themselves the law, but a bunch of common hangmen is all they are. It seems to me that you're on edge. I've never seen you like this. Has something happened, or was it just the lecture that Lilith gave? Yes. My lectures and those of Platon were cancelled last week. And you were going to tell me about that when? Why am I always left in the dark? The Dean didn't explain this cancellation. He just said it was to schedule changes. Convenient that any changes always have to do with Thanatica alone, isn't it? Is there anyone in the laboratory right now? Platon, as usual. I suppose that even if the lab is closed, Platon will linger at the place as a ghost for a couple more years. Don't say that. Platon is a brilliant scientist. I believe he's got a bright future before him. Unless we're closed down. Our situation is indeed dire, but it's too early to give up yet. Go on with your work. Sorry, Fema. I was distracted. Ah, the lecture halls of the capital. The nebulous buildings of... Where do we think we are? Moscow or St. Petersburg? I'd struggle to be able to know. There it is, that one still burning cigarette. I do enjoy the artwork on the wall here because it does resemble the cover, the box art of Pathologic 1, and a lot of the promo art for it back in the day, back in 2005. Scales. And a beaker. So we have a scalpel, a test tube, scales, and a beaker. I was checkmated before I even sat down at the board. Queen's Gambit. What for? This game was rigged from the start. Back up into the Natica. This is familiar from quarantine. I do remember this very well. Interesting. Very interesting. What does the Inquisition want with Platon? Platon, my assistant. Very intelligent, full of political insinuations and witticisms. Sometimes I'd stay up late with him over research in an uncorked bottle. He'd made so many ironic remarks about his unhappy personal life that eventually I realized it was a source of great agony for him. This is our chance, I tell you. Carpe diem. If we want to save the lab, we have to seize the day.
Venit mors velociter,
I'd like...
rapid nos atrociter, nemini parsetur.
I'd like to ask the esteemed bachelor first. What do you think of this Lilik woman? Well, she's a damn good lecturer, that's for sure. The students are in awe of her. I've been to the lecture. Lilith spoke of the Inquisition's function, of the hierarchies of how the law works. And you know what? I believe that this is a sign. The Nika needs protection right now, like never before. And who would protect us better than the Inquisition and the law? I'm not sure. During the lecture, I had an impression that Lilith was addressing me personally, hinting that she could help. If we had to collaborate with the Inquisition, no one would touch us. That is the law. This is a horrible idea. Everyone who's ever collaborated with the Inquisition has come to a bad end. Yes, indeed. I agree with the Bachelor. If we swear our loyalty to Lilik, other Inquisitors won't be able to get us. They have an inner code of conduct. They leave people from other teams alone. It's not the Inquisition that we have a problem with, it's the Academy of Sciences. I can see that you haven't been to the lecture. The Academy answers to the Inquisition, that's the chain of command. If we can negotiate a patronage with Lilik, that would be a serious argument for the Academy. What do you think, Bachelor? I don't like it. The risk is too great. Pigritia mete vitiorum, Dankovsky. In our case, idleness means death. has a nasty habit of punishing those who are easier to reach first. Swearing loyalty to an Inquisitor is like painting a target on one's back. We have to choose between the laboratory's death and a potential risk of our own deaths. How did we end up in this position? You know what? Daniil Dankovsky, the man who founded this lab once, was the bravest man I've ever known. What's become of him now? Aren't you ready to do anything for your brainchild? And for your science? I'm not ready to risk my co-workers' lives, that's for sure. Pinned butterflies. Live ones, but trapped. And so we take the elevator down. Our only choice is to revolutionize this world. Fucking Tellman. Fuck you, Tellman. Fuck you. Mine is sharp as a scalpel. Out of the chess club. I have no chance at all. You look just like Tellman. Are you Tellman? Amazing. First time I see a player who sacrifices pawns that easily, and she's outplayed me despite that. You see? You look pretty joyful for someone who's just been outplayed. Today I was a witness, I'd even say participant, of such an extraordinary game that losing it was a joy more than anything. Aglaia Lilith gave a chess simultaneous exhibition today. 10 boards timed, each of them. 3 of them she won during the debut. The others, oh, I don't even want to speak of it. She sacrificed pawns with such ease, I was sure I was win. I was mistaken. So Lilith won all 10 of those games? Not all of them. Mastanskaya managed to reduce the game to a draw. She didn't care about the pawns either. They kept flying off the board quicker than I could blink. Lilith seemed to be very impressed by that. I've heard that Mastanskaya's got an offer already. They're recruiting her to the Inquisition. Mastanskaya, huh? It'll be a great shame if she accepts. She's a brilliant mind. I'd agree if I were in her shoes. Making a career like that? Oh, it's a dream come true. A dream? You can't be Tellman if I'm talking to you as a student, then. Timere desirida tua. Nothing is more dangerous than a dream come true, especially if the Inquisition is involved. Today you're very close to an Inquisitor. Tomorrow you face the wall for that very reason. Dream. You students never learn. Every pawn is always convinced that it's a queen. That's why they are so easy to sacrifice. I've heard it was the other way around. Before, it used to be dangerous. Now, if you work with the Inquisition, nobody will touch you. If an Inquisitor executes someone who works for another Inquisitor, they will have problems, you know? They no longer do that. Oh. Really? So the times have, truly changed, have they? I recognize 2 faces, yet the other I struggle to remember. A servant of the law who has risen above it, the government Inquisitor. A servant of the powers that be, breaking free from beneath her heel. Veronica! I wasn't expecting to see you again. Oh. You have been such a constant presence in the back of my mind for so many years, ever since Pathologic 2 was being announced. You were the lifeline that kept us going. Thank you, Veronica. I am hopeful that your sacrifice will not be in vain, and yet I am certain, almost certain, that it will be. Can anyone explain to me on what grounds the college allows the Inquisition's hangmen behind their pulpit? I've always thought that the Institute's goal was to teach its students critical thinking, but look at them. It's almost as if they were worshipping this Lilith woman. I know you. You're Veronica Croy, 3rd year. I thought your last name was familiar. Is Inquisitor Croy your relative, or is it just your namesake? Damnation. I've renounced my family, I've enrolled in medical school, and still, my father's name is ruining my life, even here. I'm sorry. I was trained to be an Inquisitor all my childhood. Just imagine not having any control, even over your own life. It was like being forced into a marriage, and I wanted to do something different. And you made it. You're in medical school, and you're doing great. I feel like the shadow of my father is still pursuing me, even here. If only I could somehow explain to them that the Inquisition can't be trusted, and that swearing loyalty to them is certain death. Usus est optimus magister. That's what the students here are for making mistakes and learning from them. Let them learn. It's too callous. And yet the other option is also callous. Are we being callous because we are genuinely callous? Do we genuinely believe and have such contempt for the students? Or do we merely know what their fate is? And are we saying this to try to avoid the distress, the obvious distress at seeing people that we taught and given a damn about get swallowed up by fucking cops? Always trust me to bring a humanizing aspect to Daniil even when it's not warranted. You're a cruel man, Bachelor. You would have made a great Inquisitor. Why do I get the impression that even you're trying to recruit me right now? It's because of Lilith. Her presence. Where there's an Inquisitor, there's paranoia. Everyone is on pins and needles today, suspecting each other. I've been attending lectures for 4 years now, and I've never seen anything like this. Full house, and not a sound, not even a rustle. Lilith has a gift for capturing attention. And do you remember what the lecture was about? Or do you only remember the full house and the silence? Bachelor Dankovsky, I'm sorry, it was with all due respect that I said that. Have you been to Lilith's lecture? What do you think? I repeat my question. What was the lecture about? What can you remember from it? Lilith spoke of law and ethics in medicine, of precedents and these paradoxes. What kind of paradoxes did she use as an example? Oh. I remember you, student. You kept skipping your Latin classes. If you attended them, you'd know that ostium munera non munera. All these years we spent teaching you students, then an Inquisitor comes, and at once everyone can see that power is more attractive than any science. It's always the way of it. I sympathize with Daniil because I have seen people seduced by the light of power, the light of authority, government legitimacy, the law being on your side. I've seen students of fellows of mine go down very dark paths because of this, and in the current light of 2026, you can probably understand my anger at that. I understand Daniil quite well.
Они выросли. Я им надоела.
Daniil Dankovsky. Very pleased to meet you. It's not just courtesy, I'm speaking from my heart. I've already had the honor of meeting you, but I doubt you'll remember. That is exactly the line that she used last time. That's her opening line to Daniil in Pathologic 1. How did it happen? I attended your lecture 3 years ago at Lamarcus. I even took your autograph, the girl in the long shirt, do you remember? I asked you about the glassy lips too. And you, did you attend my presentation? I didn't see you in the hall. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think your presentation was for a student audience, and I am a lecturer. Either way, I'm glad we met. I must admit that your lecture made a powerful impression on me. When I got an opportunity to speak at the Institute, I immediately thought of you and wanted to see you. See me to what end? Your research sparked an extraordinary interest. And I don't just mean my interest. You'd be surprised to learn how often I hear my colleagues say your name. As far back as 3 years ago, you already went further in your struggle against death than any man alive. Inquisitors know my name. Should I be worried? Let's have some intelligence here, and not blurt out the first thing that comes to mind. I'm afraid I, haven't made a lot of progress since. How so? What happened? Let's say that the chessboard of science has been overtaken by pawns, and they are pestering the pieces. I should have guessed. The Academy is a bag of snakes. Those sage old men have been a fixture of the place for years. Barba non facit philosophum is lost on them by now. However, the Inquisition has its tools with which to rein in the sage old men. Remember the Neustadt scandal? He was left alone in the end. He's become an Inquisitor's servant, and the Academy no longer has power over him. I heard about Neustadt. That was a Pyrrhic victory. And 2 of his colleagues from the same laboratory were later executed. That's a lie. Neustadt's colleagues met the fate they met for entirely different reasons. Your research is of the utmost importance, Dankovsky, and if the Academy disagrees, then so much the worse for them. You need protection. You're going to protect me from the Academy, but who will protect me from you? Well then, Bachelor, play this chess game as you see fit. But you'd be surprised how the situation changes as soon as a servant of the Inquisition speaks the name of their patron and adds Judica causam tuam, pawn to queen, in one. How do you like that? The greatest lie of chess was to convince pawns that they could become queens. A choice made. Wait. How am I here again? Everything's different now. I didn't get shot. Why would have I gotten shot? That makes no sense. Of course I didn't die. Otherwise, how would I be here talking and recounting this tale? Shouldn't be so foolish.
Никогда не один. Всюду вещи.
Let's, just... bear ourselves in mind a moment longer. Things are not so bad. Wait a moment, citizen. We're looking for Daniil Dankovsky. We were told he was staying in the Stillwater. Oh, I see. Kaminsky sent for me. Hope you don't intend on wasting the precious time of a Glea Lilith's servant. Come on, people. Judica causam tuam. What did you just say? That's Latin, judica causam tuam, meaning judge your own cause. If you work for the Inquisition, you should at least know its motto. You know a Glea Lilith? What keen perception you have. How did you know? What should we do now? I didn't expect him to, be one of Lilith's guys. Me neither. Let's just take him into the cathedral. The boss can sort this out himself. Are you kidding me? Is it fucking Kaminsky? No. No. It's supposed to be a Glea. she's jumping through time as well. Shit! Yes, I know we all wear the golden heart. Mark Karminski, Inquisitor. The Inquisition is an organization of special intellectual emissaries who, in the powers that be, tend to solve unsolvable problems. Each has their own way of going about it. Few know the Inquisitors by name, giving them sobriquets instead. Karminski's is the Hanging Judge.
Временные петли или временные?
Daniil Dankovsky. I was curious to meet you. I hope my men weren't too much trouble. I ordered them to be polite, but sometimes they're getting overzealous. Well, at least they didn't execute me on the spot. Your sense of humor doesn't fail you, even in the midst of an epidemic. I'm glad to see that, especially given the circumstances. I recently heard some terrible news while leaving the capital. My condolences. What news are you talking about? Ah, of course, this place has no line to the capital, so you don't know. Hearings are being held as we speak concerning the shutdown of Thanatica. I can imagine how tough you're having it. They're taking the wrecking ball to your brainchild while you are here. I am here. I can see what's on your mind, and I'd advise against it. I've been made aware of someone in this town who is said to help people escape the quarantine. One Grigory Filin, I think. Some name that sounded like a verb. My men are already on the lookout for him. You sound like you're baiting me. Brought up escaping, named the man not to turn to. Perhaps I'm testing to see how sensible you are. Or perhaps it's the other way around and I'm trying to keep you from making a mistake. A horrible mistake. I know human nature. People are wont to do awfully stupid things, such as rushing over to the capital to attend a hearing, hoping against hope to save their science, even knowing there is no chance anymore. I need you here. Yet, if you knew human nature, you wouldn't have told me about Thanatica, yet you chose to tell me what is in it for you. The best way to make a good first impression is to be frank. I've been frank with you, and now I am asking the same of you. You want frankness? Well, here goes. You're wasting my time. If you want to help, give me more resources and people. I understand, but first you will have to help me. I will now appoint you an Inquisitor. What? Not for long. Just for an hour. The local authorities did something much less humane when they chose to hand you the power of the town for the whole duration of the epidemic. I've seen the reports. You've been doing well so far. You've seen everything, participated in everything. Who better than you to judge the cases of the people in this case? Is this some kind of joke? No. I'm dead serious. The accused are already here. They must be heard out and indicated. I will be your assistant, advising you on the details. And since their fates are hanging by a thread, let's not make them wait. What will happen to the accused? Can they be acquitted? If they can't, what kind of punishment awaits them? The accused will get what they deserve. Do you consider the Inquisition's trial to be unfair? No. The Inquisitor is in the same space of uncertainty as the accused. The difference is that he can control it. Are you ready to try your hand at this art? This is a nightmare and I would be better off shot by your men.
Я был в обратном доме. Любопытная конструкция.
One Artemi Burak, nicknamed the Ripper, is accused and charged with breaking into the abattoir and the termitary, both under quarantine, extracting organs from living people, abducting children.
Брюхо не зеркало, хоть сеном набей, видно не будет.
You forgot to mention that I also killed my own father. Who are you trying to impress with your sarcasm? The allegations of patricide are foolish and unfounded. The court understands that. But thank you for reminding us. Your father's death and the false accusations make for a compelling reason to grow bitter and seek revenge upon your hometown. What do you say, Inquisitor? Burak, you've been tight-lipped with me from day one, and now you decide to shoot your mouth off. You're giving the court more ammunition. I don't find it plausible that he sought revenge on anyone, least of all an entire town. Thanks for not turning me into bogeyman, Amshin. You'd be the only one. His motives might be up for debate, but his actions are tangible. So let us examine each charge separately. First, visiting the abattoir, possibly the termitary, a gross violation of the established quarantine. Does the accused plead guilty? I'd be dumb to deny it. I was at the abattoir. Didn't really make it into the termitary. They kept me out, but I tried. How else was I supposed to study the plague? Burak is right. It's useful for a physician to see the real roots of infection with his own eyes. But is the accused a physician? An unfinished education, some rumors of surgical experience during the war. In a war zone, any biography can be fabricated. Who would verify it? Your verdict on the first charge, Inquisitor. Is he guilty or not? Do I have to do this? Your assumption, these are the rules of the game you've been dragged into. In that case, this is a trial, but I am the one on trial here. Their fates hang by a thread, but so does mine. This is a test. Because if I give him the wrong answers, they will use this as ammunition against me. Oh, this is devious. Regardless, not guilty. However, the accused doesn't deny visiting the abattoir or attempting to enter the termitary. Acquittal is impossible without compelling arguments. Wait, the abattoir? Burak went there at my request. He was looking for a patient for my research. I am willing to take responsibility. Is that so? Curious. Delegating your dirty work, are you? However, the benefit of your research is evident. The court acknowledges the argument and dismisses the first charge. Let's move on to the second one. Organ harvesting for the living. In other words, aggravated murders committed with extreme cruelty. I know what this is about. That steppe girl was terminally ill and agreed to the experiment voluntarily. An experiment for which I take responsibility. You are more interesting than you seem at first glance. The town has been terrified of a maniac, but it turns out there's a luminary from the capital behind his actions. Well then, the second charge is dismissed. The third matter on the agenda. According to the evidence collected by the Inquisition, the accused ingratiated himself with children and led them away to an unknown location. We have reason to be concerned about their lives and well-being. Those children can't be kidnapped. They're orphans and no one wants them, especially now when everyone is busy saving their own skin. I care for them just as my father did before me. Then present them to the court. The townspeople are worried that the children may have been used for their organs as well. I refuse. But why? I swore to protect them, and so far the Inquisition seems worse than most of the threats that they've faced before. I have some input in this. I saw them with my own eyes yesterday. Half the town's children are putting themselves in greater danger than the orphans in Burdak's care. You're willing to use your own name to refute the rumors. How noble. The court accepts your argument, but remember that ordinary people are enraged by even a hint of crimes against children. The accused is acquitted of the third charge. So what now? The Inquisition hereby acquits Artemi Burdak of all charges to the court's astonishment. He's free to go. But I want you to keep something in mind, Dankovsky. Those charges didn't appear out of thin air. The town sees Burdak as a maniac. If he does something controversial again, everyone will remember who declared the offender not guilty last time. I prefer to get not so far ahead of myself. Today, Burdak is guilty of nothing. Thank you, Oinon. I won't forget this. Thank you, Oinon. Oinon? That's a new one. Means wise one. Most respectful form of address. It's only used for those who truly understands how our world works. I should have started calling you that ever since you came to me the night after my father's funeral. I will from now on. I'm so drained I can't even muster a witty-ladded retort. For shame. And grateful, too, for all your help. And you yourself. Okay. 1. I've saved Artemi. And that's because of what I managed to do on the previous days. I don't know whether all of them are going to be so lucky. I doubt it. We're going to have to go back and fix things. Still.
Благодаря этому, отрешившись от земного мира, полного заблуждений и от его суеты, он превратился в то место, на которое опирается крыша мира.
The accused. Peter Stamatin, designer of the polyhedron, accused of assault on reality by way of impossible artifact creation, which puts the population at risk through its sheer impossibility. What is an assault on reality? Is that defined by law?
Что там у тебя за пазухой? Не как камень в мой огород.
Since this is a trial, I propose we narrow down who assaulted whom. Did I take a gulp of reality, or did it swallow me? I'd say it goes both ways. Look at him, Dankovsky. Couldn't even come sober to his own trial. I didn't know about the trial. They snatched me right out of bed this morning. At least they gave me some time to dress, or I'd be standing before you in my small clothes. Enough small talk. Let's return to the matter at hand. I give you the floor, Inquisitor. I believe that Peter should present the blueprints for the polyhedron to the Inquisition. Then we'll be able to determine how dangerous the structure is. Ha! Funny. Your life is on the line, Stamatin. What exactly do you find funny? There are no blueprints. I burned them 4 days ago. Shit. Shit. I burned them 4 days ago. Nothing but ashes by now. Where were they? Where were you keeping them, Peter? Who cares? They're not there anymore. So, what do you expect us to do now? Can you at least explain in your own words how the polyhedron stays upright? How does it work? If you need that explained, there's no point in even trying to make you understand. You wanted to accuse me, so you did. You want me in prison? Prison it is. The news? Even better. Can we get this over with? You're giving me a headache. What if I bring you the blueprints? Do you think he's lying about burning them? You're making me laugh myself to tears. I have an idea where they might be. I don't think you quite understand what it means to be Inquisitor, Dankovsky. Your job is to lay down sentences, not sniff out evidence. I'm only an Inquisitor for an hour. You've said so yourself. Once I leave the cathedral, I'll be myself again. I doubt you'll pass up the opportunity to see the blueprints for a masterpiece like this one. I'll find them, and in exchange, you will give Peter a chance. Shit. How do I undo this fate? Do I have to go back before it?
Воры, трусы, изменники, падаль.
We're gonna have to do some time traveling here. Vlad Olgimsky and his son, Vlad Olgimsky, monopolist cattle magnates. The Inquisition has reasons to expect that the epidemic has started in the so-called termitary, a dormitory for factory workers they own.
Что? This is ludicrous. That's why I closed down the termitary in the first place. I quarantined it, you see. I've saved the town, and now I'm to blame.
According to our information, locking the termitary has led to everyone inside dying en masse. What do you say, Inquisitor? The accused claims he did that to save the town. Does this look like salvation to you? I don't like Vlad the Elder, but I don't want him executed by an Inquisitor. Not on shaky grounds. I mean, he did... but then again... Technically, isolating the infected is indeed an important part of fighting the epidemic.
This is it. Tell him, Bachelor, tell them all. It was the town we were caring about, the people. Didn't let doctors in because they'd go in and never come out. They'd be torn apart in there.
You've created an immense petri dish which the plague used to grow in strength before bursting out into the town.
За красивым фасадом всегда черные недра. Всегда.
Vlad the Elder, Vlad the Younger. I need to write down everything that they're accused of if I can try and get them out of this. There is a way. It was my fault.
Silence, you fool. Don't listen to him. He's nervous, young, talking nonsense. It was no one's fault.
Something like that can't be no one's fault. Hundreds of people have died in your termitary. You sentenced them to death.
People, you call them. Have you seen those people? Those kin? We did the right thing. I did the right thing when I locked the termitary.
Father.
Silence, I said. Shut your mouth. You'll talk yourself into a noose.
Well, what do you think, Inquisitor? I don't want to kill them. Not guilty. There was no other solution in the first days. A mass isolation of the infected in the dormitory has given the town time. I feel repulsive for even saying this, but I don't want their blood on my hands either. Please, let my father go. He didn't do anything.
Hush, you. I'll talk with you yet. Out of your mind, you.
You're so diligent in shutting your son up. If I didn't know you, I'd think you were trying to take the blame for his actions.
There's nothing to blame for anyone for, physician. You're the one who decided to make me take the fall. I did what was necessary. I demand respect.
What happens now? You, the both of you, definitely have something to do with the spread of the epidemic, but it's not over yet, which means the Inquisition cannot yet properly assess the damage done or the gain, as your father keeps insisting. I admit I expected you to make snap decisions, and I am glad to be mistaken. I don't like the Olgimskis. I do think what they have done has been utterly beyond destructive and reprehensible. But I don't think I could bear to hang them, not like this. I'm a doctor. I was here to fight death, not to deal it out. Except in moments of actual life or death struggle, but that's a slightly different thing. You're surprised. That means you haven't taken to your role well enough. Your verdict will be taken into account in the future. Right now, though, the Olgimskis are dismissed.
And this is what you call a trial? Inquisition, my foot. Ludicrous.
Father,
Not here, I told you, keep your mouth shut.
I think this is an act of provocation. He's letting you go to see what you will do. Alexander Saburov, the town's governor, accused of... Actually, the executive branch always bears the heaviest burden of guilt. Unpreparedness for the emergency, suboptimal decisions, etc. Saburov, the town mandated to you is a mess.
Заткнуть им рты, быть твердым, не колебаться. Пришло время нашей семьи.
I request that the court takes it into account that our town is different from others, which means maintaining order in it requires a special approach. Special. The court will take note of these words, Saburov. Inquisitor, what is your opinion of the performance of the executive powers? The town was unprepared. They should have had a hospital. But this is a provincial town. They are trying, kind of. Kind of. Mercy is what I want to always do. Justice must be balanced against mercy, but I don't see the justice in executing a man just plainly for incompetence. The governor has handed his power over to me for the duration of the epidemic. He also assisted in the emergency command in every way possible. The first outbreak has shown that the most effective measures in an epidemic are those taken by a doctor, and I am grateful to Daniil Dankovsky for shouldering this burden, taking over the emergency command. The Epidemic Emergency Command. Yes. Tell me, Saburov, do you understand how this might look, right? You found someone who would make all the inevitable mistakes instead of you. First, the incompetent Olgimsky Jr., then Dankovsky, who doesn't know the town. Governor Saburov understands his own limitations, and I can see no crime in that. Your point of view is clear, Inquisitor. Now, let's consider the additional circumstance. Do you know this young lady, Saburov?
А ты уверен, что ты для Симона не просто материал? Кирпичик в великом храме.
How are you, Father? I can't believe you brought Clara here. What does she have to do with the trial? This young lady is regularly spotted walking around the infected districts. Some of the townspeople believe that she spreads the plague. Others say she heals without medicine, literally just by laying on hands. And the number of these people is constantly swelling. The girl fancies that she can help the town. Naivete is not a crime. I've helped you, Dr. Mann. I've told you what to do with the one following you. Remember that, at least, because, you know, ingratitude can corrode like an acid.
So you admit that you know the Inquisitor? Perfect. Do you have anything to add, Inquisitor?
She has been to the first infected house, and she reported it to Saburov. She was trying to stop the plague. Thank you, Dr. Mann. I was doing this for you too. For everyone.
Well, let's take a closer look. The young lady visits the infected districts with unknown purposes. She lures the townsfolk into a cult of her name. These achievements are too impressive for her age. This raises the question, is there someone more experienced behind her? For example, the man who has sheltered her.
What? No, of course not.
I admit I don't quite understand the kind of relationship the Saburovs have with this girl myself.
Why the naive outrage, Saburov? Have you never heard that emergencies are useful for the executive branch? The temptation of emergency powers which can, with enough cunning, be prolonged indefinitely.
Here's the hypothesis. Both the cult and the spreading of the disease by the young lady play right into your hands. You're the director and the puppeteer of her deeds. The Inquisitor has a point. But I don't believe Saburov does that. He's not... No, I didn't know anything. In fact, I asked her to be more careful to avoid coming to the infected houses. Did you go there, Clara? What deeds? What directing? How can you direct when you don't know what about? Wait a minute. Either you are the adoptive father, which means you are responsible for your daughter and whatever she does, or the young lady is on her own. So what will it be? Are you responsible or not? You can't put the question like this. I repeat, I knew nothing. This is a trap, Saburov, and you've driven yourself into it when you sheltered Clara. No. I object. This court has no need to hear cases of family law. I reject all of the proposals to make me a lawmaker or an inquisitor in this. I hereby exercise my right to the freedom to sabotage these fucking trials.
It was necessary, Father. I never harmed anyone. I just helped. Do you believe me?
An excellent question. So do you agree that your daughter is entirely in the right and was acting with your approval? I believe her, but please understand I could not control her. I don't believe the governor was behind the actions of Clara the Changeling. He is too straightforward for that. The court hears you, Inquisitor. But right now, it's more important to hear Saburov. Are you ready to admit that your Clara is your daughter and, consequently, her actions could be prevented by you? No. Put this down on record. The governor has disowned his adoptive daughter, thus clearing his name from the accusations, at least the ones concerning her. Dad. Didn't you hear it, Clara? The former governor is not your father. I think we should give the accused some privacy, Inquisitor. It's not every day that a father disowns their daughter. I have no idea why you would need this. The Canes aren't represented. Alexander is stripped of his governor's title.
Сегодня мне приснилось, что у меня бывают сны.
Thank you for your cooperation with the Inquisition, Dankovsky. So, is this line of duty to your liking? No. No. Power is... We were just in the halls of the lecture theatre where we learned exactly what Dankovsky's feelings of power are. What his response to the hangmen are, because that's all this man is. No. Having power is intoxicating, but what do you do with it? No. Only children are intoxicated by power. The real wise man knows that power is a yoke, and is merely a burden of responsibility. At least that's what it should be. So, no, you're doing this on purpose, so the whole town knows about my cooperation with the Inquisition. You're making it sound like some grand revelation, but I wasn't hiding anything. Of course I'm doing this on purpose, but I've given you a chance to influence the fates of the accused. Wasn't it worth it? Don't answer that. Such arguments are boring. Rather tell me, are you doing any campaigning for the populace, raising their awareness? This provincial crowd doesn't know much about the latest discoveries in the field of hygiene, and it's not their fault. We're doing everything possible. If there are any messages that haven't been taken, that means there were reasons. There's another thing. I've looked at the documentation of your emergency command. The town is short on medicine, and we can't expect any new supplies during the quarantine. But the solution is obvious. Confiscate what the townspeople have stockpiled for a rainy day. You need to be bolder, Dankovsky. You hold the power. Do you want to play switching roles some more? Have you decided to take my place now? I've just given you a hint. That's all. It's up to you whether you want to use it. It's just my job to stick my nose into other people's affairs. Though I admit that your affairs are of less interest to me than what the Canes grace with their patronage. It's curious to be in a town that has so many assaults on reality all in one place. What did you mean by that after all? What is an assault on reality? I don't have time for lengthy discussions. Let's try to be brief. There are laws, and then there is the law, that which defines the shape of reality, the sum of facts it consists of, as well as the potential opportunities for its development. Are you still with me? More or less. By virtue of having free will, sometimes people make attempts to break the law. In most cases futile, but on some rare occasions, they achieve a certain degree of success at the seams, the tears in the history's fabric. That success is unstable. Reality is always trying to push that out of itself. You could say that reality has an immune response. You're contradicting yourself. If the law defines reality, then how can it be broken at all? You're asking the right questions, Dankovsky. It's impossible to break the law. That's why its breaches are called impossible deeds. If they take material form, then they are called impossible objects. It'd be easier if you could name some examples. To avoid disclosing the secrets of the Inquisition that you are, after all, not a part of, I'll just name the most well-known ones, the ones that you might have heard about. An example of an impossible deed is the free circus performance of the Double Star Man. Flight, without any kind of contraptions involved. His name was Druid, and he was thrown in prison. It must have been by your agents. Don't get all worked up. And the most famous impossible object has been discovered under a flight of stairs in a residential house, an infinitesimal point that contained the whole world. The foolish owner of the house wrote some poetic saga in extremely bad taste after looking into it. I thought that was just a story, a metaphor. Your bewilderment is understandable. Even in the Inquisition, not many are capable of working with impossible objects. The mind refuses to encompass them, though I personally consider them the most interesting kind of work. Is it bad to strive for the impossible? That's how breakthroughs are made. Groundbreaking discoveries. You should understand that impossible objects are always a menace to reality, and reality is a menace to them. This contradiction demands a resolution. That's why they need to be studied and disarmed. I hope your curiosity has been sated, at least for today. I need to get back to my job. I have a job of my own, now that you've chosen not to execute me, anyway. Okay. We're going to need those degrees before long. Carriage, give me a carriage. I must urgently flee the town without my Thanatica will be destroyed to its foundations. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. This is going to be a tricky day, I see. I have to now get everyone acquitted somehow. Maria, what are you doing here?
Смотрю я на вас и думаю, зачем я на это смотрю?
Daniil, my father's in the crucible. He's in a bad way. You have to examine him as soon as possible, I implore you. What happened? Early in the morning, the Inquisitor came to us. He's pressed charges against my father and carried out the sentence right there, on the spot. What kind of charges? He said something about impossible objects, and that father is being accused of instigating the creation of such objects. Please, we have little time. You have to help him. His condition is very bad. Alright, but which objects did he mean exactly? The polyhedron's been here for a long time, and I think was ordered by Simon, not Victor. The Inquisitor mentioned Yulia Lyarcheva. He said Lyarcheva did something commissioned by father, and that it was an assault on reality. It's all her fault. Because of Yulia? What's her guilt exactly? Why are you so sure of it? A few days ago, father said he no longer needed her services and asked her to leave the town. She got mad and decided to have her revenge. She visited the Inquisitor and framed him. Framed my father. Why has Victor fired her? I don't know. Doesn't matter. Why do you even care about these things? My father is the victim here and you're questioning me about Lyarcheva. I'm just trying to place all the pieces on the board. Find out exactly what happened. Yulia has no idea why she's been fired, which means she could hardly have told the Inquisitor anything of value. I need you as a Dr. Dankovsky, not as a chess player, and especially not as Yulia Lyarcheva's advocate. My father is not a chess piece. He's the closest person I have, and he's in trouble, and it's the only thing that matters now. Alright, I will go to the Crucible and examine Victor at once. Maria's believed on Lyarcheva's intonation. Kaminsky defied Victor of reason. I need to visit all three. What is meant by this? Well, a great deal of things to do today then. The nails. What? Pass me the nails. That box behind you. Since you insist on breathing down my neck, I might as well bring something to the table. Like those nails. I swear, Gorka's blocked my light every time I'm out building her out on a ladder. A ladder? I thought this was a gallows. Well, it is. Gallows is just a ladder to the sky, don't you know? As the Inquisitors say, you can't use it to climb down, only up and right out of your body. Inquisitors. They pretend to be philosophers, but they're just butchers with a license. All they care about is getting gallows built. What's that supposed to mean? You saying that building a gallows is easy? A little tap-tap with a hammer and it just assembles itself from the boards, is it? So, in your opinion, I'm just messing around here, is that what it seems to you? It's people like you who uphold these inhumane practices. If everyone refused to build gallows, how would the Inquisitors hang anyone? But you said yes. You enjoy hammering away out of your love for the wood and engineering. My job is to make sure the person in the noose suffers as little as possible. If gallows is just slapped together willy-nilly, you gotta repeat the Paper Brotherhood situation. Took them 3 tries to hang those men. Now that is true butchery. You seem to be awfully proud of your work. I've got nothing of value to trade with them right now.
Это болезнь. Это действительно так смертельно, как говорят.
I will say no more. No more. Maria is worried about you. She says that the Inquisitor did something to you. I will say no more. Do you remember who I am? What's my name, Victor? I will say no more. No more. Can you say anything other than that phrase? I will say no more, no more. Victor, look at me. How many fingers am I holding up? No more. So that's what Maria was talking about. Pupils dilated, don't respond to the light, gaze fixed. You're dead. Look at me, Victor. I will say no more. Damn. He won't tell you anything. I'm the one you should talk to. Where did you come from? I thought a shadow only appeared where someone had died. But he is dead, isn't he? That is correct. But isn't Victor alive? Or are you not his shadow? The answer to that question is a matter of perspective. What makes a person alive? Is it their biological processes or their mental ones? The heart or the brain? Someone can be dead even with a beating heart, and physical life is, alas, perfectly compatible with metaphysical death. What exactly did Kaminsky do to him? Inquisitor Mark Kaminsky carried out his sentence. Whoever stands accused of assaulting reality must be banished from it. Derealized, that is the law. How specifically did Victor assault reality? What could he possibly have done to deserve such cruel punishment? It was all because of the street in the atrium. Victor had entrusted Yulia Lyuricheva with one of the town's key projects, a street that created realities, a street where a person could see every possible permutation of their fate, but something went wrong. The street wasn't working as intended. Instead of conjuring up possibilities as it should have, it drove people to a nightmarish state of insanity. Nightmarish how? What did they see there? The street was working backwards, for lack of a better word. At first it appeared the street was broken and walking it yielded no results, and then Victor found out there had been cases of people going insane after visiting the atrium. Those affected included a postman, a milkman, a beggar, and another man who was prone to obsessions. It took Victor a while to realize what they had in common. Would you like to guess what it was? They each arrive at exact predetermined times. No. They all had their daily rituals. Victor realized the street revealed itself to people who walked in a specific fashion, moving from one porch to the next. He discovered by experiment that you had to start from the cathedral square, stand on the first porch on your left and follow the sound from there. And what did he see there? He saw that the street wasn't working as intended. He saw that Yulia Lyuricheva had made a horrific mistake that doomed the entire town. Could you be more specific? I've told you all you need to know, Doctor. I know what's on your mind. You're about to decide to test the street for yourself and find out if it's true, and I won't be able to stop you. Just know that you absolutely should not do that. You're making a mistake. What if it's the other way around? What if I walk the street, learn my future, and then I'm able to change it? Victor liked to tell the parable of the appointment in Samara. Of course, he tried to fight back, only for his every step to bring him closer to the inevitable end, to what he'd seen when he walked the street. He didn't just see his own execution, he saw his town perish because of plague. And every day since, Victor watched all the things he'd seen in that street become reality. You're making it sound like it was the street and Victor walking it that brought the plague upon the town. Huh. Huh. Oh, God. Unless the middle district of town is infected, that's going to be a nightmare. Oh, God, most of this area is all completely fucked. This is going to be absolutely nightmarish. Very well, we have a few things to be considering here. This must be something that I missed on a previous day. I know I need to go back to day 3 or perhaps even day 2 to rescue those burnt plants. But let's find out. That's the sprained ankle man again. That's fine. He's allowed to complain about his sprained ankle. I'm going to see if I can maybe get some more supplies as well, just because I think they might be necessary. Our supply caches are not very... well, they're not very much in supply today, I see. Very well. There'll surely be a number of things to do here. Permit me my own little personal interpretation here, and perhaps the reason why I am so fond of Dankovsky, and the Utopians and the Utopian project in general, but how could I, being what I am,
Передний костальный край, краевые лунки и, конечно, корень крыла.
Have anything but sympathy and admiration for those who have apparently broken natural law? I have done that myself. There are plenty of people in my country who say that I'm breaking what is natural by being what I am, and hate me for it and wish to see me hanged. How could I be anything but admiration? How could I hold anything but admiration for those who would also seek to break such things, to prove that natural law is full of impossible things that we don't understand? All we have to do is be a bit braver and actually broaden our horizons. What we think is natural isn't only that. Reality is much more impossible than we give it credit for. What is it, Dankovsky? Did you forget something here? You held a trial of the town's ruling families at the cathedral today, but you came to Victor Kane in person. Why? If you've been to the Crucible, then you must already know what I did and why. Victor Kane has been found guilty of assault on reality. The Inquisition believes his actions posed a serious threat to the state. How could he possibly commit an assault on reality? He didn't create an impossible object, he merely commissioned the work. What do you mean, merely? His commission makes him the orchestrator, which, if anything, is an aggravating factor in our circumstances. Peter Stammerton is accused of assault on reality as well, yet you didn't fry his brains, you just let him go. Correction. You let him go, Dankovsky. The polyhedron is, indeed, an impossible object, but until we've established the nature of its interaction with reality, law forbids us from taking steps against Stammerton. Victor's situation is quite different. Well, what is the core accusation leveled against Victor Kane? If you've spoken to him, you must be aware of the impossible object located in the atrium, namely, a street that multiplies realities. While the street exceeded all of its creators' expectations, it has an unpleasant flaw. Rather than multiplying realities, it collapses them down to a single scenario, the most horrifying future possible. The Inquisition believes that an object like this poses a threat to the state. Are you going to do the same to Yulia? We'll decide on that later. So far, we're still at the evidence-gathering stage. Have you tried walking the street yourself yet? Have you? I asked you first. You forget yourself, Dankovsky. Looks like you're still playing Inquisitor. I do all the questioning here, not the other way around. Tell me, have you already made the mistake? Have you walked the street? Do I look like a fool? I think I'll politely refrain from comment here. If you value your own future, stay away from the street and the atrium. I'm trapped in a town that's dying of plague. That street can hardly make my future any worse. Oh, jeez. Depression. 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 Ah. Oh, come on, come on. I just need to hit a water pipe. Quick. Everything is too slow.
Тишины в библиотеке.
This town is still depressing me. I need to find a better way to deal with it. No. Let's not use the items unless we have no other choice.
Лучше бы не
Oh,
слышать.
there we go. That's better. That's better. That's better. Well, this is intriguing now, isn't it? Am I about to fuck up my game by doing this? Am I about to introduce plague by doing this? Well, who comes here? Another curious Gorka? Another smart aleck believing that he can overcome the street's curse? Away with you! Shoo! Get out of here! Apply by the protocol, orderly. What's your number and who placed you here? My number is 0 and I'm no orderly. I'm just someone who placed herself here out of mercy for you and the likes of you. I won't repeat myself. Get out. Ah, so you're an actress, one of Immortal's troupe? What kind of play are you staging this time? I'll explain this once. This street is dangerous. People lose their minds walking it. Exactly how it happens, I haven't found out yet. And I wouldn't advise you try, unless you want that fashionable big city haircut of yours to crown a hollowed-out pumpkin. The consequences will be irreversible. This was reverse psychology, wasn't it? You're making me want to walk the street out of spite. I'm telling you, people lose their minds here, as well as the endings to their stupid lives. Not all people, to be fair. There is some secret, some kind of special route, which can be chosen by chance. Don't risk it, and especially don't try to find this route on purpose. I know it already. You walk from one porch to another, probably beginning with the one that you're standing at. There must be a reason that you're standing at this certain spot, right? I'm tired of arguing. If you're so set on ruining your fate, then go on. I can't forbid it. I'm not on duty, no one's placed me here, no one's given me the order to board the street off from passers-by. Though they should have. The consequences are irreversible. Irreversible! What's done cannot be undone. I don't understand the panic. To forbid something, I must be certain that it's harmful first. Experimenting then, huh? On yourself, on volunteers? Might just so happen there won't be anyone left to interpret this experiment's results. Maybe you're right. Maybe I'm one step from a fatal mistake. I can promise you this, I won't rush into experimenting head first. I'll think everything through. This... I am curious. I'm very curious, but I'm also quite scared. Because I don't... It's very, very clear that the consequences of whatever I do there are irreversible. And there is a chance that I could just end my game. Destroy it completely by walking the halls forever. It is being extremely clear not to do that recklessly. So we won't do it recklessly. We'll have a think. We will consider what we need to do.
В наше время стыдно быть безграмотным. Человек обязан уметь прочитать знаки судьбы.
Excuse me, Dankovsky, but I'm otherwise occupied at the moment. I know about the Atrium Street.
And? What, are you expecting some kind of reward for finding out about it?
I'm trying to understand why you created it. Why would anyone make something that dangerous?
The question betrays an amateur in you. The main peculiarity of any impossible object is that the creator never knows for certain what exactly it would turn out to be. It's a question of luck. Bad luck, sometimes. Like in the Atrium Street's case.
Usually, when people begin working on something, they have some idea of what the result is going to be.
Do they really? Have you ever heard of Kin? He was a steppe man who invented barbed wire. He believed he was creating something quite humane. The wire would protect cattle from predators. Could he have known that his wire was going to be used against people in prisons and concentration camps?
What is it you're trying to say?
When we employed Yulia, our idea was to create a street that would multiply the realities. We wanted any person who's walked down the street to see all the possible branches of his future and be able to choose. What we have as a result was never a part of our plan.
So, that's why you fired her?
Every creation always bears an impression of the creator's personality. We failed to account for that when we employed Yulia. She's an engineering genius, but she has shortcoming that we missed at the time. She's too rational. She relies on logic too much.
I fail to see why that's a shortcoming.
Yulia's a skeptic by nature. She's always searching for a single true answer. And now the Atrium Street does exactly what Yulia's mind does. It doesn't create realities, it reduces them into one, making it inevitable.
Oh. So if we walk that street, if we do that, we end up with an inevitable end. Why haven't you told Yulia of all of this? Perhaps she could have fixed it all somehow.
We tried. Yulia refuses to accept that something is wrong with her street. She believes all her calculations are correct, but she is wrong. Besides, she's sick to the Inquisition on Victor, and you've seen the result. We have nothing to discuss with her.
I say the street needs to be cordoned off before it harms anybody else.
All right, Dankovsky, be it your way. The atrium street will be cordoned off. I don't believe it would help anyone, but if it makes you feel better, then so be it.
Thank you. And please accept my condolences. Victor didn't deserve such a fate. Barricading that street is a choice. I am extremely curious as to what that is. And how its consequences are apparently irreversible. Okay. Let's keep going then. To the town hall. I see nothing else to be done here. Other than to try to cure those that are infected again.
Что за черт?
Oh, just in the nick of time, eh? Very well. You know, I never actually explored what was upstairs here, but I don't expect anything will be. No. Very well. Not a bad haul. I don't think I mean, I could probably use some more morphine crystals. Let's just keep it. That seems a sensible approach, doesn't it? For now. Ruben, thank goodness you came.
Да.
This is what you call a hospital. When you told me there was work being done at the theatre, I imagined something more substantial. What were you expecting? The town's sealed off. We're making do with what we have. What are you working on? Do you have a plan? I'm studying the patients who have intercurrent diseases, trying to find a vaccine. Barak Jr. is developing a cure. Cub's here too. It's symbolic that we're in the theatre. It's as if all the characters have come together for the final act, for the ultimate crescendo. Final act is still far ahead of us, but thank you for coming here, Ruben. I'm so glad you're here.
Будет досуг, когда вон понесут.
What is it?
They say you're friends with Bad Grief.
Who says that?
Everyone. Do you know where he is?
I can't help you, Dankovsky. I don't know where Bad Grief is, and I wouldn't tell you if I did.
I understand your caution, but you can trust me.
Two can keep a secret if one of them is dead. Ever heard that before?
You're a good friend, Ruben. Fine. Okay.
Где умному по пояс, дурак слух пройдет.
Good day, Doctor. What a day this has been, with the Inquisitor's arrival at all. They barged in before dawn, frightened the patients, and rifled through all our records, but I've already tidied everything up.
All they know how to do is interfere with our work.
How are you holding up? They say you've already been summoned.
I don't want to discuss it. The rumors will reach here sooner or later anyway.
Oh, I see. Well, shall we get to work then? We have 3 patients today. Tuute, the unfortunate Martin, and Emilia, who's been driving everyone mad.
What? Is that a step name? Tuute.
Yes, Tuute means turtle dove in their tongue. The steppe folk brought her in, tried to explain something, but I couldn't make it out. I only know the language superficially. All I understood is that Tuute keeps dancing, won't stop. Dancing.
The unfortunate Martin. What makes him more unfortunate than others in this hospital?
His wife died of the sand pest. He caught it too, but he's still alive for now. He grieves for his wife terribly. It's painful to watch.
Dead wife. And how exactly has Emilia been tormenting our staff?
Emilia... Well, tormenting. Half the orderlies hide in corners from her arrogance. The other half practically serenade her. It's a difficult case. Not sure about the medical side, but otherwise difficult.
Well, thank you for the information. I'll have a look for myself.
You have violet eyes. And also... your capillaries are darkened. Khatar nada. I must khatar nada. Let the dress rip. Let Mushuan come out.
You don't look much like a herb bride.
I'll become Kire Basagan if Bodo wills it. I'll drive Mushuan out. Mushuan?
No, I can't pronounce that. But I think I've heard it somewhere.
Bad blood, yes? What's wrong with your blood? I came to the marshes.
Marshes. She went to the marshes. That's important. That's a location.
I saw slaughter. The boss was sad. He was exhausted.
Ink syndrome. Clear-cut case. Absolutely. I'm a genius. Sorry, I can't entirely keep up this Dankovsky act forever. It will just make me crack eventually. Well, I think that's our diagnosis.
The boss was sad. He was exhausted. They shouldn't have cut him down, all miserable and covered in flies. Spoiled sacrifice. I saw it. I share blame. Got the Mushuhan.
You saw a bull slaughtered. And what does that have to do with your blood? Do you think you've gotten disease from the bull?
She Urgonoiguish. I saw a boss killed the wrong way. Since I saw, that means I helped. Now Mushuhan runs with me. I need Qatar, then I can become Kire Basagan, then I drive Mushuhan out with dancing.
You want to heal yourself by becoming a herb bride? Are you serious?
Kire Basagan never gets ill. I need to become Basagan. Qatar everywhere, barefoot on soil and rocks on wood. Then all Mushuhan will come out. It won't eat my Urman. It won't eat my Ukdadel. Okay. I suppose so. Still, try expressing yourself in a clearer manner. Ask simpler, Erdem. You say big words, but they ring hollow. Ding-dong like a bell, empty inside, just your tongue striking the walls. Your capillaries... You're right, these terms aren't helping. Have you noticed that the part of your eye that's usually white is darkening? After the boss was slaughtered, I've been waiting for days in fear, and so it came. Shuhan started darkening from the top. Now Mu Shuhan is in my head and it's moving down. How can one tell superstitions apart from delirium? Pray tell me, do you use Twirin? Do you drink it? Should not drink too much Twirin. A man burns after it, clouds thoughts. Keterme ekir buu. Sometimes you can, sometimes not. So far, I cannot tell what's happening to you or how to alleviate your condition. Namada yushi kirigui. Just let me do a Qatar and I'll be healthy. I will after a physical exam. Hospital lighting, or is the skin tone actually uneven? Some places yellow, others paler. There's marks on her stomach, cuts and scratches. Ah, that's the thing to throw us off, isn't it? Nevertheless. See, that looks like excoriation marks to me, as in like scratches, which I would say would be itchy skin, but I am going to try to drop my real-world medical knowledge because it will not help me here. Completely black. You're very intent on giving me... Okay, let's just be certain we're not missing anything. First time around with these patients, I think we need to be completely sure. I'm talking to you, but I must do Qatar, I must dance, I should not rest. I'll answer my questions and then dance to your heart's content. The veins on your arms have turned... your questions are like dull arrows, aren't them? They sing loud when they fly, but they ricochet all the time. The veins on your arms have turned black. This is severe. Bikileke, Mushuhan is coming down from my head, soon it'll reach my feet. I told you so. Why don't you listen? You think I ontako kelkele? Here, look, it's flowing inside my hands. Your skin seems to have yellow spots, or is that the lighting? Have you never seen a Katanga? Thank. How can you be an Erdem if you don't know simple things? I was born this way, like many of us are in the steppe. Naran burns, wind bites. I think loss of coordination here for the Twirin syndrome really kind of... I am... Look at it. People interacting with specific steppe water bodies of the Gorkon, which she did. Ink syndrome. Straightforward. I know that I'm saying all of this as if I'm Dankovsky being an arrogant little prick, but like, if there's anything I've learned, it's that I am incorrect most of the time with these. So here I am, and what's the point? Could have just stayed home. Not bad, huh? Treating me? What for? Nothing left in my life anyway. She's died from the plague, my wife has. 20 years together with my tsitsek. Smooth sailing it was. Been through everything with her. Poverty, famine, but this accursed blight. Didn't get through this. How do I live now? Setsag? Your wife was one of the steppe folk? She was my flower, that's what she was. We're all mixed up here, so who can tell now? It's standing over the steppe, the town is, so we must all be steppe folk to you outsiders. But Setzeg's life was not the kin, if that's what you mean. I see, thank you. I haven't worked out the local customs yet. Must be going right after her. Cannot, excuse me for saying, leave the loo these days. Can't keep down the food at all. Been drinking broths, concoctions. No good. Oh really? Nothing's diarrhea and nausea and vomiting at the same time? A basic gastroenteritis is a nausea and vomiting and diarrhea at the same time. Ah. Is that diarrhea or is that vomiting? It's not actually very clear from what he's saying. Going right after your wife, what do you mean? What can I say? Been tough for me. All grey like. It's like I've grown old overnight after Setzeg's passing on. Home's not like home now. Empty. Lonely. Broke up some of the dishes too. Everything's slipping through my fingers. Huffing like an old engine I am, gasping for air. Difficulty breathing. Loss of coordination. He must have got a loss of coordination if things are just slipping through his fingers. Come on. Is that a nausea and vomiting? It's not very clear. Can't keep anything down. Okay, stand behind the screen and I'll examine you. Nothing to be found. This is going to be a nothing to be found, isn't it? Severe peeling. Cracking. Eczema. Fine. Oh, jeez. Chronic over here just now. It might be chronic. Ah, a tricky patient because he's not got a lot to go on. Don't leave me hanging, Doctor. Am I meeting Setzeg soon? Don't be too eager to pass to the other side yet. There's still a few things to clarify. Go on then. Clarify them if you need. Makes no difference to me either way. Nothing matters anymore. Do you have trouble breathing? A lot of trouble. It's like I've aged half a century after Setzeg's death. Take 3 steps, then I have to sit for a minute. She's calling to me, to her, my dear one. I guess it's time. The difficulty in breathing is definitely new. The eczema... He's got peeling of the skin. You have some flaking of your skin on your forearms. Do you know that? I do. My wife would always put special oil on them, so it wasn't that bad. But now, without her, why do I even... Okay, the skin lesion's nothing. Some patients lose the ability to digest food normally, but can only tolerate broths and liquid porridge. He did say broths. More mortality from influenza increases in crowded conditions or during... I'm not certain on this one. We'll check her as well, before we lock that diagnosis in. Another sluggish orderly? Spare me. I require a doctor, immediately. I'm brought to death here. I'm the doctor. Daniil Dankovsky at your service. As much as this tone irritates me, I am nevertheless your servant as your healer. In many ways, that is the way I view myself as a doctor in the real world. If I am healing someone, if I have the privilege to be someone's doctor, I am at their disposal. It also doesn't help to butter people up sometimes, you know? Sometimes that's an easy way to get someone on your side, and then they actually tell you the information they need. That you need, sorry. I'm the doctor, Daniil Dankovsky, at your service.
Ah, you're the luminary from the capital. I'm looking forward to seeing you in action. A person with a decent education is a rare commodity in this town. I'm thrilled to meet an expert in an area adjacent to mine.
Adjacent area? Are you a colleague in medicine?
Heavens, no. If I were, I would have killed myself on the first day of the outbreak. Quite obviously, this provincial mudhole is doomed now, so no, I'm not a medic. My domain is in a different natural science. Botany.
Much as I don't feel it, it is rare pleasure to find a patient who appreciates a scientific approach. You say whatever you need in order to get someone on side sometimes. That's the best way to conduct an examination, because people will tell you things if they trust you. And trust is what you need in order to perform medicine well. I trust I can rely on your full cooperation to secure a diagnosis.
Yes, my symptoms... I'm going insane, Dr. Dankovsky. Surely you are aware that it is an occupational hazard for those of us engaged in intellectual labor. Physical elements plague the common folk and steppe savages, but cognitive development brings a certain susceptibility to diseases of the mind. This is a myth. Any human being can suffer from both physical and mental illnesses. There's no such thing as a noble affliction or a commoner's blight. In the face of disease, we are all equal. I rather doubt that, though I'm sure you'll be convinced by the evidence. I have visions, waking dreams. 1 minute I'm strolling down the street, and next, I'm lost. I don't recognize my surroundings. Trust me, an uneducated person wouldn't have these sorts of hallucinations.
Hallucinations? What kind? Visual? Auditory? Visceral?
Oh, all of them. I'm transported to a different place, a different time. Even my body is different. It's old, disfigured by age, and this is not even the worst part. I see myself old and unaccomplished. Not a single discovery under my belt. No scientific breakthrough, no legacy.
You've walked down Yulia's street.
When I was younger, I too had the feeling that I wanted to create some form of, long-lasting scientific legacy, but great man theory is something I have long since put to bed. To have your name remembered for your great scientific achievement, for your legacy, is a fool's errand. I don't buy into great man theory or auteur theory. Everything is made in collaboration, and we stand on the shoulders of those who came before us. Humility in science is a key thing, and most scientists I know have quite a large degree of humility. Having said that, most of the scientists that I know are biologists of some form. I am understanding that perhaps other fields of science might have slightly larger egos to bruise sometimes. And I know there's probably people in biological sciences that feel that they've got massive egos too, but fortunately, I haven't had to deal with very many of them. My former wife is a scientist. My best friend, one of my best friends, she's a certain kind of biologist. I respect her immensely. Sorry, this is getting completely off track. Either way,
just because you didn't have a massive legacy. That's nothing to be ashamed of. Achievements should be for the people, for the world, not for yourself. I would still say that growing old is a luxury in these kinds of time. Not even a weed bore my name. No lecture hall held my portrait. I was an old, dying mediocrity who achieved nothing. It was so real, so terrifying, frighteningly convincing. Hold on. You said that these visions occurred while you were on a walk. Do you recall where? Was it the atrium by any chance? Do you expect me to memorize the geography of this hellhole? Hardly. I can only tell you I stick to the riverbank of the Kane estate. It's the only part of town that is tolerable to look at. The atrium is actually not that far from the Canes. There's a street there where people experience strange things. What you think are hallucinations might be of the same origin. So I'm not mad. It was merely the malign influence of some street. I cannot jump to conclusions before examining you. The possibility of a physical ailment should never be ignored. Hands itching, inflamed. See, a complaint that I could theoretically have about this game is that it is not really easy to tell the difference between certain rash types. However, this is also a problem in real-world medicine. Dermatology is my least favorite subject. That's why I work in emergency medicine. I'm a terrible dermatologist. Don't ask me to diagnose your rash. So, Dr. Dankovsky, will you be able to heal my mental ailment? The scientific method, which you are so fond of, demands that I ask you some questions first. By all means. Conducting research, verifying hypotheses. You know, it pains me sometimes that the object of my scientific interest is mute. I would love a chance to interview a monster deliciosa. Have you been experiencing unusual fatigue lately? You look exhausted. I'm drained by the nightmare, Dr. Dankovsky. That ghastly hallucination renders my entire existence meaningless. What if it comes true and I never really achieved anything? I have a feeling that you're more interested in fame and acclaim than the pursuit of science, and in my experience, researchers like that rarely achieve anything of significance. Amelia, you do realize that you've been diagnosed with the sand pest. This is as good as a death sentence. I'm sorry. The sand pest? Oh yes. The orderlies mentioned something about it. But they're just orderlies. They could be wrong. Besides, you're looking for the cure. The hospital was created for this very purpose, right? You'll make your breakthrough, Dr. Dankovsky, and give me the chance to achieve mine. Very well. Let's agree on that. You believe in me, and I believe in you. Shall we proceed the questions? Yes, of course. This is my chance, and yours. Surely you wish to become the man who vanquished an incurable disease. You've got scratch marks on your hands. Of course I do. I'm constantly working with plants. Cutting sprouts, repotting them. Sap is bound to get on my hands, skin gets irritated. Surely you work with toxic substances, you know how it is. Weakness. What was a weakness listed under again? Weakness. Tell me, have you lost weight recently? You're dangerously slender. I wouldn't say sickly gaunt, but... Please, if I were concerned with looking unappealing without my clothes, I wouldn't devote my life to scientific exploration. Do you have an inkling how stark the conditions of a field trip can be? Especially when venturing into the wild for particularly rare specimens. It's no wonder I've lost weight. case is more complex than I anticipated. The clinical picture remains incoherent. Perhaps there's no clinical picture to speak of. My only complaint is that awful hallucination. Oh yes, I was diagnosed with the plague and some other ailments inhibits its spread, but this ailment can't be of mental nature. I'm still not convinced that you really do hallucinate. So your search is at an impasse? For now. But I will break this impasse, I assure you. Influenza affects everything but the skin. Steppe gastrodermal fever affects the skin. A skin sample, then. Skin sample. The skin is healthy, no pathogens detected. So what was my other potential here? Diarrhea? Oh, it was diarrhea, not nausea and vomiting. When he... oh. The history was unclear. I would like to clarify with him whether it was diarrhea or whether it was nausea and vomiting. When he says, I can hardly leave the loo, that implies diarrhea. But when he says, I can't keep food down, that implies nausea and vomiting. And I don't know whether that's a translation issue. And I would really dearly love to ask him more detailed questions in this. Still, we've ruled out anything on the skin, and he's got diarrhea and difficulty breathing. That just does leave pulmonary mucus syndrome as the only thing. Fine. Very well. We can play detective. We can figure out a diagnosis. I do need to talk to Yulia, though. I feel that's important. Okay, we're going to be extremely cautious as we wander through. Why not? Let's see if we can make it through this next one. Because I'd rather enter through this gate than that one. That's a terrible gate to enter through for this. We need to get here as quick as we can. Ooh.
Oh, she's right
И
there.
тормозил смерть, как настоящий ученый.
Excuse me? Well, it's fine. Rough day. And again, aren't they all at a time like this? Hard times, eh? And a good day to you too. Your neighbour's in the hospital. I'm her doctor. May I ask you a few questions? But Amelia, I'm the wrong man to ask. I hardly know the lady. The city bird, that one, even if she's stuck here with us all. You know, on account of that, all that's going on. She spends much more time in the capital than at home, so I rarely see her. So she is a local. I wasn't sure. From the way she talks about it, you get the impression she was here on an expedition. Oh, she's local, all right, just standoffish. As common folk aren't her sort. Her parents are rich and they pay for her every whim. Trips to the capital, fancy amusements, all those plants she fusses over. Well, I could try and defend her here, but again, I'm a chameleon. I like to be able to be personable with whoever I'm talking to. Especially if they're only going to be people I talk to once or twice. Frankly, that was my impression too. Science is just an amusement to her, something to feed her vanity. That's Amelia all right. Other ladies want silk dresses and jewellery. This one loves her potted plants. As if any of it has real value, especially to us working folks. Hold on. You say she goes to the capital? I was under the impression she was out on scientific expeditions hunting for rare flora. Yeah, some expedition. She rides the train to the capital, sir. I see her come and go. I work the switches. She always comes back clean and fancy, except for the last time. Not to I hardly recognised her. Looked like she walked the whole damn way. Let me get this straight. The last time she returned, she looked exhausted. She was a wreck. Sullen, covered in mud, nothing like the porcelain doll that she usually is. She brought a new flower with her again. Usually she hides a crew of porters for all those pots and flowers and such, but this time she had the damn thing heaved into her own back, roots wrapped in a dirty rag. I didn't even recognise her at first. Could someone let me into her apartment? Check the flower pot by the door. She keeps a spare key there. Forever waters her plants when she's off in the capital. Who usually tends to plants in her absence, so where can I find them? Same place as plenty of other poor wretches, in the cemetery. She used to pay a distant relative to do it, mother's third cousin or something. One of the first taken by the plague now. A poor old dove. We spoke to someone earlier on who wanted us to water the flowers. Oh, that was on day... That was on the first day that we played. I think it was day 5. Maybe Amelia caught the plague from her. Just a closet of sorts. Nothing up here. Very well, back time we go. There are more expensive things in her apartment than all the neighbours have combined. She's not struggling. Thieves would have plenty to take in here. Does Amelia live in this apartment to do her plants? I'm familiar with far from everything here, but some things, of course, are familiar. Twire, medicinal chamomile, poppies. Perhaps it's best to... Twire can cause hallucinations on its own. Careless contact with twire is the cause of a number of diseases. Compare the rest of the symptoms. Perhaps this is the answer. No.
doesn't really fit. No, that doesn't fit at all. Such abundance requires serious care. She's hard-working. I'm no specialist, but all of the plants look quite healthy. Except for one. It's either already dead or hasn't taken root yet. I have no idea what this monstrosity is, and the part in this monstrosity is in different parts from the rest. Did they repot the monstrosity a few days ago? The soil hasn't settled yet, it's completely fresh. Probably a trophy from a recent expedition to the south. I'm still weak in botany, but plants like that can be poisonous. But I have no way to confirm this theory. What else is here? Okay, poppies. Narcotic substances. Well, there's no. I don't think she was using opium. Medicinal chamomile. It can even be nausea and weakness if you overdo it. Twire, not familiar with. It's supposed to be this bold. It's either already dead or it hasn't taken root yet. The soil's completely fresh. Trophy. In fact, that's curious. Could Amelia have caught some local infection in the south? That feels a bit more correct. Broken in haste, in a quarrel with someone, nerves gave out. I think there are more expensive items here. Maybe the mess is from thieves. Whoa, Jesus. What a feast. One person couldn't handle such abundance in 3 days. Oh. Kids over there. I think that this is probably a bit more what the answer is. Is Amelia staying out on her feet? Who tripped over the rug and didn't fix it? Or were there thieves here? Hey, what do you think you're doing? Help! A burglary! I caught you, you crook! I'm gonna feed you a knuckle sandwich. Stasher was right. Leave a nice house empty and the rats come crawling in. Easy, kid. Calm down. You're scaring the neighbours. I'm not a burglar. Who are you then? Oh, you're a gaunt. You're pale. You're scary. I know who you are. You're the Eye Snatcher. Eye Snatcher full of lies. You ain't getting my 2 eyes. I'll punch you till you cry. Crawl the hell away and die. Your spells are nothing to me. Now give me your eyes. Nah, you don't fool me, mister. The real Eye Snatcher would be hightailing it by now. Now tell me what the hell are you doing, Miss Amelia's place? What can I say? We're too sharp to be tricked. I'm a doctor. I'm here on business. On business? Important business? Oh, not that much. Where's the lady who lives here? The pretty one who's always tired and grumpy. She sent me to the store and then vanished. But I know everything around here. I can help you with your business. Will you give me a nickel? Huh. She sent you to the store, huh? Is she too delicate to do her own shopping? Come on, mister, are you blind? She's royalty. Real class. Though she didn't ask before. Used to carry her own bags from store to store, heave around her dumb pots with mangy flowers. And then one day she said she was too tired and sent me out for food. What about that nickel? So she used to be stronger before. How long have you known her? How long? Mister, I live right next door. I'm the man of the house, you know. Got to feed my ma and sisters. She started paying me to run the store and I was glad for the work. But now she's gone, she stiffed me. Speaking of which, I could really use that nickel. Did you buy that food on the table? Do you know who she was expecting to join her? That was me, alright, but she wasn't expecting anyone. It's all for her. When I first ran to the store, didn't know her appetite. She gets mighty hungry, so I had to run twice. Now I haul it in one go, but charge for 2 runs, or even 3. Each day is different. Are we? So we've... Loss of appetite certainly isn't there. I don't think... Dystrophy, weakness, itchy skin. But the itch is probably from the plant sap. I don't want to include that here. Dankovsky's fever. An extremely dangerous and contagious disease described in detail by Dr. Dankovsky. Epidemics of the disease can occur, but are characteristic only for tropical inhabitants, i.e. those in hot and humid climates. Within the borders of the Empire, cases of the disease are extremely rare. Typically, the affected are pilgrims visiting southern countries for religious purposes, or merchants involved. This does seem promising. Virus rapidly affects the lungs, leading to breathing, then the heart, and then the disease is practically incurable. Consumption. Tuberculosis. But children, weakened immunity, smokers, drug addicts. They were actually giving us a hint, because they were giving us a hint when she said there's a diseases of the nobles and the diseases of the poor. Because whilst she was incorrect in her arrogance, she is correct in that there are some pathologies which are much more likely to affect poor people due to conditions like overcrowding, due to conditions like, well, any one of the number of problems that poverty brings. And therefore, there are some conditions that are much more prevalent in poorer populations. There are also going to be conditions that are present in richer populations, such as those that require travel. I think we have a diagnosis. She sent you every day, and the load was heavy enough to triple your fee. Hey, I ain't a crook, mister, it's a fair trade. No handouts, no charity. She wanted an extra heavy load, so she paid triple, and it was an honest fee. Curious. A shift in eating habits plus weakness and weight loss. What about that nickel, mister? Did you notice anything else about it? Was she acting strange or talking to herself? Nah, don't think so. Well, yesterday she paid me extra. She counted the money 3 times and still gave me too much. Not that I was offended. Thought maybe she was tipsy, but she never sent me out for a bottle. I know that for a fact. Now, listen here, you little businessman. Amelia is in the hospital with the sand plague. Run home and tell your ma and sisters you must all get checked as soon as possible. You hear me? Now go. I can see why that would be distracting, but if we spend a bit more time being thoughtful... then we can perhaps get to the bottom of this. At least a little bit faster. Oh, shit.
И руки поднять.
She's here, she's following, she's here. No. Okay, we're fine. Okay. Okay. Let's go and talk to the lady. So, Dr. Dankovsky, will you be able to heal my mental ailment? I went to your home, Emilia. You have a spectacular collection of plants. Thank you. It's not my home, though. It's just a temporary abode. I want to think of tramped lodging in a backwater town to be my actual residence. Would you say that your appetite suddenly became excessive? Those university's banquets were the food on your table. The latest trip was so exhausting, it left me constantly hungry. I'm so famished I can't get enough. Would you say your health deteriorated whilst you were on your expedition? You are my attending physician. That is the only reason I'm admitting it. Yes, I would say that. But a true researcher never shies from the hardship to the wilderness. I have bad news for you. That must be where you contracted it, in the deep forest of the south. The good news is that this is why the sandpest hasn't killed you yet. Am I doomed, Dr. Dankovsky? I don't want to die. I'm not ready. My name isn't in a single botany textbook yet. Do you have manuscript or drafts? I will ensure they are published. It's still sad. You know? Still very sad. As annoying as she is, she doesn't deserve to die.
В Танатике было тихо.
Okay. Another infected district. Okay. Okay, we can do this. There's no bombs. I can't believe I died twice to the fucking landmines. I'm not going to do it again. Okay, to Yulia's house. We can do this. Now she's here.
Притормозил смерть, как настоящий ученый.
Okay, is there anything else in here to explore? Just Yulia? Nope, it's just Yulia.
Плакать не плачу, а слеза бежит.
It seems the Inquisitor's arrival has agitated the whole town. I've heard that Karminski visited you this morning as well. It was always like that. As soon as an Inquisitor arrives in town, everyone suddenly gets terribly interested in what he does and who he talks to. You've got your own matters to deal with. Why are you worrying about my conversation with him? Victor Kane has been executed. Kaminsky's destroyed his mind. What do you mean, executed? What's this you're saying? It means Inquisitor Kaminsky has touched his forehead, and now Victor can only say one phrase. I'm not telling you anything. I see what you're getting at, and I don't like it, Dankovsky. Kaminsky did pay me a visit. He questioned me about my work for the Kanes. I told him everything. Not a single word I said could have served as grounds for execution. Let me guess. Kaminsky had a special interest for the Atrium Street, right? What did he want to know exactly? Nothing special. Technical detail. Turned out he's pretty well versed in everything that's connected to psychogeography. I suppose he could create impossible objects of his own. Perhaps he had, even, before he's taken the Inquisitor's oath. You know what it is, exactly, that this street of yours does for people? What if I walked down it? Are you ready to guarantee I wouldn't lose my mind or crumble under nightmarish visions? Who's frightened you so? Someone strongly dislikes the idea of you walking down the Atrium Street. Tell me, what have you seen yourself when you would walk down it? I should have known. You haven't walked down it, have you? You've created a monster of a street and you haven't even dared to walk it. We've only been acquainted for a short while, Dankovsky, so I'll forgive you this indiscretion. Truth is, an old injury has left me limping with my left, and my limp prevents me from walking down the Atrium Street. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. I'm just trying to understand what is going on as much as my irritation is here. Go away. This conversation is over. Tell me this at least. Is there a way to disarm the street before it's broken someone else? I think that was a bad idea. I think this has been a terrible idea. I think I fucked that up. Well, more fool me for being nice. God damn you, Yulia. Okay, that's a terrible route. This is a much less dangerous route. It's still going to be dangerous, but I think that it's a lot less dangerous to go through a rioting district than an actively infected one. At least that's my feeling. Bullets. 6. Let's go.
В Танатике было тихо. Только не убивай. Поди сюда. Доктор, ты что? Только не убивай. Стоять! Брат, мало мы вас не убивай. Не убивай.
Fuck off.
Не бойся, не бойся. Стой. Какие люди? Не убивай.
this one's filled with them. Bastards are everywhere.
Город журчит.
Nope. Fuck off. I swear to Christ.
Шум надоел. Разговор есть. Только куда? Не убивай.
Доктор, прости!
Иди сюда.
Не стреляй!
Такими судьбами.
This is one of the most dangerous ones we've had. I was foolish enough to try and look the other way, though.
Только не бойся, не бойся. Мало мы вас вешали.
Bastards. Do I have to go back and re-walk? Do I have to walk that street in order for Yulia to
Слишком у вас нервы натянуты.
actually talk to me? I don't know. Do I want to walk that street? That seems like a terrible idea. Oh. Say, what kind of screw are you? Who let you loose in here? I'm looking for bad grief. No grief here, bad or otherwise. Soul, joy, and roses. What are you doing here, and what kind of screw are you? The screw's got a job to do. Get it? I've seen you here before. You work for bad grief. Well, you got one thing right. I work. I'm working while you're playing. I told you I ain't heard of no bad grief. No good grief either. If you don't know bad grief, why do you freeze every time I say his name? Huh? Bad grief. There, you did it again. You going funny in the head? Leave me be. I'm having a bad enough day as it is. Some free advice. Never play cards. You've got a terrible poker face. Who else would know where he is? I suppose Lara would. Ruben? Lara? And Artemi. I wonder if Artemi knows. I love how I said the infected districts are more dangerous than the rioting ones, and I proceeded to walk into the most dangerous rioting district I've seen so far. It's almost like I'm an idiot. Which, this game is very quick to tell me. Shit. Okay, 9 PM has rolled around, and I now need to face... I now need to go back here and face justice. This is going to be a nightmare. I don't think I have remotely done everything I needed to do today. But I also don't think today was a failure either. This one is more manageable. Because she hasn't found me. She's not right beside me. Okay, we're through. Let's go and see if we fucked up any of our diagnoses. I'll be stunned if we got them all right, but, you know. I suppose we shall have to see. Guarantee you at least one of those is going to be an error. Oh.
А что, есть у человека душа?
Good day.
Что наука говорит?
Good day, Dr. Dankovsky. What are you doing here, little? Is there something urgent going on at the hospital? No, everything's running as usual, aside from the difficulties that you're already aware of. I'm filling in for our regular courier today. I brought the patient report. Order number 33 stepped up for a funeral. The, executions, you know. All of these were also affected by Kaminsky's activities? Evidently. I think this Kaminsky calculated it deliberately so that even if someone wasn't directly affected by it, they'd still be cowed. I'll be frank with you. The orderlies weren't rushing to replace 33. Your emergency command is now right next to the Inquisitor's headquarters. They're afraid to show their faces here. But you're not afraid, I take it. I figure it this way. The Inquisitor will execute whoever he wants, whether you walk past him or not. It's either in the cards or it isn't. And the cards that I'm preoccupied with our patient's medical card. And the cards that I'm preoccupied with are our patient's medical charts. Well, should we just stop working just because we're afraid? Thank you, little, for your courage. Take care of yourself. Oh, we got them all right. I did not expect that. Protocol 7. Day 7. Protocol 7. Oh dear, these protocols are getting more and more problematic by the day. Oh, no, not stop time. Medical inspection. Quarantine. Work out what else we should do. This is still bad. No, that didn't work at all. How do we save everyone? I need more orderlies. please. I want the disinfection. No, I want... door-to-door rounds. Or do I want to just put the quarantine back on? 180 on rest, 70... no. Door-to-door rounds. I think we have to take it. Fuck. Oh, fuck. What was this? Social distancing. Okay, door-to-door rounds. Stopping time, burial pest control. No. Perhaps we could do something slightly better. I guess that buys us another day. No, it didn't buy us another day at all. This is tricky. There must be an optimized way of doing this, but I just can't work out what it is. Probably the best thing to do is to take everything off and then start from the beginning, but yes, let's do that. Everything comes off. Whoops. Nope, nope. Okay. From the top. Experimental vaccine on day 4 is better than the first attempt. Oh, can we go back and undo it with Protocol 5 from the offset? Ah, that actually makes that a bit easier.
Oh, that makes it markedly easier. And what's the problem? Medicaments or orderlies? Okay, fine. So we need and the hygiene awareness campaign. That's an excellent one. Okay, that works. Oh. Perhaps we do have to do it in the correct order then. Fine. I see. Okay. Water filtration's a good one. But I do also think that medical inspection is probably a good one to do in general. Because it's much less harmful overall. Disinfection. Okay, we'll do disinfection. And then we'll keep our third one for training more orderlies. Right. And this gives us medical inspection. If we keep on recruiting more orderlies, then we can do the most efficient of these, which is going to be disinfection. And then eventually we'll have to do the door-to-door rounds. Okay, Protocol 7. This is the real problem here. This becomes very difficult. I suspect there must be other things that we can do. Not enough all of these. Minus 125. Minus 145.
minus 200. Minus 150. Minus 200. This is very difficult. Oh, we've already got the highest. Yeah, these are the highest damage ones that we can do, really, except for the door-to-door rounds. Brats. Perhaps this wasn't the way to do it. I do like disinfection as a process. That's cumulative, isn't it? Aha. So I don't need to work it out just for the individual days. I can go into the past. I need to be thinking in more dimensions. I am a fool. Water filtration I don't have the capacity to do for some reason. Medicaments. Ah, rats. Well... Well, that gets me under day 8 at least. Okay, let's do that then, and we'll just, you know... No, clearly this won't work. Very well. That at least gives us access to day 8. Fine. That's a tricky game to micromanage. I do not think I've done it correctly. Perhaps it's time to use the shards. Well, I think what we'll do is towards the end of the day we'll use the shards and see what we missed. Because there's bound to be something here that we didn't spot. I know there is. Anyway. let's see what ultimately happens to our friends.
Город шурчит.
I don't imagine it's going to go well for them. I say our friends. I know not everyone in this town is a friend. I know some of them are bastards, but they're my bastards. Oh. Oh. Of course. The hanging judge, they don't call him that for nothing. Why, oh why didn't they send his Inquisitor off? Off would have sort this all out properly, by the book. Off would have given us real justice, not this mess. He's doing it right, I tell you. What's wrong about it, huh? I've been saying for ages, folks around here don't understand nothing but axes and nooses. Let them all watch, maybe they'll see what's next. And you've wriggled your way out again, haven't you, you little weasel? Your partners in crime, hanging, swinging in the breeze, and you're still walking free. The Inquisitor will get to everyone. Everyone who's guilty will get a necktie. A necktie, huh? That's what they called nooses after the Paper Revolt. And it seems we've learned precisely nothing for those events. The Inquisitor will smite everyone regardless of how you feel about it. That's the law. It's man-made, but sure as nature. You can fight it, but to deny its existence would be stupid. Aren't you worried they might put a necktie on you as well? Why would they? I'm with them. They don't touch their own people. Have you even heard of the Paper Revolt? That whole thing? Well, they brought it on themselves. Who in their right mind raises a hand against their superiors? That's why they hanged the traitors. Should try reading a book sometime. Just to know your history. Might do you some good. Andre, seemed like a death could never take him. He lived though he didn't give a damn about any of the laws of nature or the state. But now I see that the law of gravity affects the Stamatins just as it does everyone else. I don't condone such savagery, but the Stamatins, they deserved it. Because of what they did to the town. They pierced it with that huge, ugly pin of a tower. Their so-called art is lifeless. Ever since they punctured it with that tower, the town's been bleeding out. Wasn't that pin of a tower commissioned by the Canes? Shouldn't they be held responsible? The tower was a mistake. The Canes wanted the town to be reborn. They wanted it to be breaking free of its cocoon and spread its wings. They were looking for a way. But it was the Stamatin Tower that ultimately doomed the project. It pinned our butterfly of a town to the ground forever. That's my opinion. I gather the locals see this town in different ways. For some, it's a bull. For others, apparently, a butterfly. So what's it for you? I would like it to become a miracle. Andre, seems like death could never take him. He lived as though he didn't give a damn about any laws, nature or the state. But now I see that the law of gravity affects the Stamatins just as it does everyone else. Fine. What do you want? Just passing by. You wouldn't happen to have something to drink, would you? Something strong, I mean. It's going to be hard to find some in town. He used to visit the Stamatins pub. He was a decent guy. He would pour on credit, but now he's dead. The place is shut down. The pub seems to be the main cultural hub around here. Everyone's orphaned without it. It used to be, yeah. Now, without Stamatin, there's no more drinks in the house. It's all for money. And who needs that kind of culture? I am burning mania. I'm burning mania. Quick, find something depressing.
Тишины бы.
Let's listen to depressing music. MCR Rock 66. I made that joke last time. That's not very original, is it? I'll try harder. I'm sorry. Evanescence this time, maybe? Wake me up. inside. Call my name and save me from the dark. Bid my blood to run before I come undone. Save me from this amalgam mess I've become. Bring me to life. Yes, I was an Evanescence fan as a child. I need to undo all of this. Okay, so we know that this was a bad outcome. How could we have changed it? What could we have done differently? How do we change this fate? Because there are certainly a few fates to change. Very well. We can save them.
Стаматиных не должны были в принципе выпускать из столицы.
My office hours are over, Dankovsky. But for you, I'm willing to make an exception. You wouldn't have disturbed me without a good reason, would you? I thought you were a reasonable man, Kaminsky. People define reasonable however they see fit nowadays. I don't have time for philosophy outside office hours. Get to the point. Making a public spectacle out of corpses is deplorable. I'm merely correcting your failures. You've been leading this town for 5 days, and look what you've done with it. There are riots and disgruntled crowds everywhere. Just have a look around. So, that's your answer to public discontent? Just string everyone up? There's no need for hyperbole. We're not hanging all the malcontents. 3 or 4 will be enough to make the rest come to their senses. There it is. The famous Inquisition mathematics. At least I survived the day. I burned too much mania, and then I spoke to an Inquisitor. After getting depressed. This made me more depressed. This was a bad idea. Oh well. I wonder what's over there then. Well, we've got a little bit of time left. Let's perhaps just go and stop our apathy burning too low. And figure out what the hell we're going to do. Come on. Oh, come on, Dankovsky. You can go a little bit faster. Please. Please.
Слишком у вас нервы натянуты.
There we go. I don't see another good way through here, so I guess this is the route that we have to take. Everything's turned into a mess, eh? Well, let's see if we survive this. I've made this journey so many times before, now I know it off by heart. Get to fuck. Get to fuck. Fuck off. What's this? Oh, I don't need more amalgam right now. Later. I'm sure we'll need it later. Ooh, but what's over here? Is that a little loot chest? Don't mind if I do. Not a lot in it this time, though. I need to trade with someone. Like, I've got too much shit in my pockets. I need to start trading it. The middle route.
Иди сюда. Только
Fuck off.
не убивай. Разговор. Только не убивай.
Ah, this trader is still gone, is he? Oh well. Maybe he died. Hey, fuck off. Don't you go chasing me. Okay, let's just keep going. Something over here. But what is this, I wonder? Kids. Kids? Group of kids. Hey, you get away. Get off the tracks. Choo choo. I just want to bring some candy for the kids. When will the candy come? When will the train bring the candy? Bil tal nutgin hilir yaridagui. Yaridagui. And, are you children leaving the town? Mind taking me with you? We're not leaving, just going, coming, going, coming. People can only move forward, but trains can come and go, to and fro. People don't always move forward. Sometimes they saddle themselves with the past. You're funny. You saddle horses, not people. Everybody from the steppe knows that. Horses are so last century. Boulder says the Iron Heart, but trains like 1,000 horses. Trains stronger than any horse. Is Boulder so popular that you're pretending to be him? Boulder can drive trains, and he used to give his riddles, sometimes, back when the train still ran. Hey, mister, why don't the trains run anymore? When are they gonna run again, huh? Mister? I wish I knew. Train came today. I saw it myself, but there was only one car with one guy inside. Never seen a whole car for just one guy before. Must have been the Inquisitor. He's a bad man. Stay away from him, children, for your own good. think it's probably sensible to... Of the things I can afford to lose. Because some of this I can probably afford to lose. Yeah. Was there anything else? No, there's nothing else on the map for me today. I think we just have these quests that we failed and try to figure out where grief is, I guess. We could always go trading again. Might as well before the day is done, because the day is going to be done very shortly. Well, not very many minutes in order to get there. Might as well make them count, right? See what we can buy before we potentially lose access to our stuff. Because there is a very real chance that we're going to lose access to our stuff. That tree is so familiar. I wonder if Sister Death is hiding in there. Again. I've been playing The Void recently. It's one of the other games by Ice Pick Lodge. It's a beautiful, beautiful little thing. I would highly recommend that you play it if you ever get the chance. Okay, here we go then. 6 bullets. Alright then. What can you give me? Not exactly a useful set of things, but Strychnine. Sure, why not? Really did think I would get something more useful out of that, but that's fine. Very well. Really, I want to trade with the kids, but I don't think they're slightly too far away to trade with. That's going to be the problem. I want more glass shards just in case, but then again, there's nothing else to be gained today. The glass shards point me in directions of conversations I haven't had yet. I think it's probably safest that we run. There's nothing else to be gained in here, I don't think, and more loot doesn't really suit me right now. Though perhaps... I won't have time to go and interrogate Lara. once this day is done, I'm going to call it. And then we're going to try and figure out what the hell else we were supposed to do. This has been a tricky day. We're going to need to go back and forward quite a bit in time, I think. On a pole of red and gold with silk overhung, a dainty cradle no mother e'er swung. You may need nary a song, baby mine, nary a song for you to shut you sweet hine. What's that you're singing? Singing makes the work easier. Rhythm's important, you know. I've already sung every song I can remember. All I got left are lullabies, so I'm singing those. Do you know any songs? I know one about a cat. How's it go? Once was a cat in Granada who dreamed a mean elephant ate her. Never heard that one. It's not a good song. Can an elephant be mean? I don't think so. I may have gotten the words wrong. I'm not really sure there was anything about it being mean. I think so too. Elephants are good-natured. There was a cat with a tail of grey, bye-oh, bye-oh. There was a cat, there was a tail of grey and paws of white, bye-oh, bye-oh, bye. Paws of white and ears of black, bye-oh, bye, bye-oh, bye. And the cat, he went to the widow's house, bye-oh, bye-oh, bye. The widow's house, a cellar full, bye-oh, bye-oh, bye. A cellar full of cream and curds, bye-oh, bye-oh, bye. Hey! The girls at the window, they saw the cat, bye-oh, bye, bye-oh, bye. And on a sharp corner, they smashed his head, bye-oh, bye. What am I... Oh, my. What a ghastly song. Is it sung to children? Take that, kitty cat, for the cream and the curds, bye-oh, bye-oh. Did they seriously kill the cat for just eating some cream? God. Okay, I mean, you know, fair enough. Oh well. I must away.
Где мы? Акт -1, сцена 9. Экспозиция. Симон и Исидор на сцене. Два мудреца согласились, что 5 лет назад совершили ошибку. Какую? Это пока зароем и молчанием. Не выносим ядовитую грязь на авансцену. Вместо этого осознание, что сегодня начинается отсчет нового летоисчисления. Задача понятна?
It's always interesting to see little plays about Simon, of all people, but hey. My Russian is not fluent enough to be able to understand all of the words, I'm afraid. I'm working on it. At least I'm trying.
Даниил, тебя ждет другой день.
Do you think he brought enough pins with him? Who? That man whose footsteps now echo through the cathedral's vaults. He needs pins, the kind with brass heads, to mount us all like butterflies and lock us under glass. I got the same impression, that he came here to study the town rather than to save or punish it. Pins in a shadow box, those are his working tools. He likes to own and admire, but only the dead, unable to flutter their wings or move from the spot. Did he come to see you too, while I was away? Oh no, I saw him from the window, but that's enough. A person's character trails behind them like a train. The way he looked around our place, as if he'd walked into a museum or cabinet of curiosities that he was thinking of buying from the owner. Guests are always surprised by our town, but under a gaze like his, you want to shrink. You're right about the Cabinet of Curiosities. He spoke to me about something like that. He's, interested in what he calls impossible objects. I remembered. It's called a killing jar. A box or glass vessel with a rag or soaked in poison inside to kill an insect without damaging it, so it looks beautiful later under the glass. If only I could figure out which insects he wants for his collection.
Today, some whispered that he executed you, while others said that he made you an Inquisitor. Tell me, do you feel like you're under glass?
Yes. And it's not just Kaminsky watching me from the other side of the glass, but the whole town, wondering if I've become an agent of the Inquisition.
I pity you. Almost as much as I pity our cathedral.
Do you think the cathedral will be harmed by Kaminsky setting up there?
Haven't you noticed? The most important thing was driven out of the cathedral today. It's been so unlucky. From the very beginning, Farkhad built it for so long, struggled and doubted, and when he finished, on the very first day, the stained glass shattered.
It fascinates me. Almost as much as the polyhedron.
You know, while Peter and Andre were searching for entirely new, unprecedented forms, Farkhad suddenly decided to turn to the old ones. He learned of a writer who, in our day, wanted to repeat an ancient novel about chivalric romances word for word. To write the same thing, but in his own hand. The hand of a modern man.
Wait, you can make out some of the old canons in your cathedral, but it's hardly an exact copy of what was built before.
To build a cathedral like those of old, you'd have to live, feel, and think like people of another time. And Farkhad set out to do just that. But halfway, though, I still don't understand whether he changed his mind consciously or lost to himself. Failed to carry out his own design.
So, no one knows whether he succeeded with the cathedral or not? Such a design must have interested Simon, an attempt to become the person of another time. That's a way of crossing a boundary of life.
Of course, Simon was very interested in the cathedral at first, and then he stopped. Farkhad himself admitted that the cathedral was missing something, that it was an expectation of a miracle yet to come. When he said that, I wanted to cover my ears. Maybe I didn't hear something important.
But they say the cathedral produces time. So maybe the miracle did happen after all.
Now that this man is settled in there, the cathedral has fallen silent. You can't look at it like an insect that belongs under glass. I'm afraid I'll never hear its shimmer again, with the flicker of a miracle that may or may not have come to pass.
Kaminsky will leave. We just need to finally defeat the plague, and he'll leave. He has no reason to stay. We have made a mess. As we were always going to do, but we had some strong successes. We diagnosed all the patients. All the diagnoses were correct. A working proto-vaccine was prepared. Another day for the town was snatched from the clutches of the plague. We've got this. That part is good. Oh, shit, I should have visited the Sabarovs. Shit. Idiot, Dankovsky. Idiot, idiot, idiot. I was right there, too. Ah! Okay. There must be some way to save our people. I want to get them all acquitted here. This isn't fair. Let's have a think. There are some decisions to undo. Some things we must retrieve from the past. some things that we can still alter now. Thank you all for joining me. We will endeavor to continue later. For now. For now, we will leave things as they are. And make sure that we come back to this tomorrow. See you all then, friends.